It's Monday update time again, and once again from the home studio. Again, I'm looking forward to recording these. It seems like a strange thing to look forward to recording them in my office, but I'm looking forward to recording these in my office just so I can say I'm in my office. We're doing well. We continue to get along well, and hopefully this week, once again, we'll be released back into the wild. And in the meantime, we've got our standard 3 topics for us to talk about today, and we're going to take them in chronological order, starting with the past. Number 1 is what happened this last weekend that most of you probably have no idea of, but we had to, of course, cancel our trunk or treat. But in the midst of that, the Lions Club reached out to us, let us know they were doing an event earlier in the day, and a couple of our families then went and participated in the Lions Club, basically drive-through trick-or-treat. And the great news there is, because of those 2 families who went over and did that, they get to pass out something like 150 little connection cards, little business cards that talked about Union Hill and gave them some connection information. They passed out 150 of those to families who came through the Lions Club event. So big thanks to those families who went over. Also thanks to the Lions Club for including us and allowing us to pass things out at their event, and just the opportunity to latch on to an event where we could say, hey, what we were going to do didn't pan out, had a few too many obstacles in it, and but we could still bless our community through these couple families, and then also get them some information where hopefully they'll follow up, and we're looking forward to that. So like I say, just some thank you there, and letting you know ministry really did happen, even though we didn't do it the way we were expecting it. Once again, God opened the door for us to get something done, in spite of the fact that we couldn't do it exactly as we wanted. And certainly that's a theme of this year, and just thankful that he did it again, and we had folks who were ready to take that opportunity. Number 2 is Wednesday night. So this week, we're still not having any in-person services through the end of this week. More on that resuming activities here in just a minute, but that would include Wednesday night. And so our prayer meeting is something we love to do, and when we're in situations like this, I think more important than ever. And so here's what we're going to try to do. You'll see an announcement in our Realm emails here very soon about being able to let us know you want to be a part of prayer meeting. And we're going to try to do that in a little different way. Instead of just broadcasting that out, we're going to do it in a virtual meeting. So if you're familiar with Zoom or Google Meet, or maybe even what we're going to use, which is Microsoft Teams, we have access to that in our office because of the software we use in the office. So we're going to try to set up some Teams meetings. And maybe it'll just be one, depending on how many people sign up, but maybe it'll just be one. But if that gets a fairly large response, then we'll probably set up 2 prayer meetings for Wednesday night. And one of them will be run or administered by myself, and then one will be with Brother Frank. I might also say that I'm sure you'll see an announcement if you're in the youth communication list, but Ben is planning on having small groups also through some kind of virtual meeting Wednesday night for the youth. So we're going to have some things that we can do. And so if you'd like to be a part of prayer meeting, will you pay attention to your email to see if you can, well, not to see, but to see when you can sign up for this meeting. We'll need an email address, and I would say this, we're going to use Microsoft Teams. So if you are going to access this on your computer, what you'll need is at least a microphone and speakers. It's even better if you have some kind of webcam. A laptop usually would have it, but something you would add on to that. If you want to do that through your computer, you don't need to download anything. You can just follow the link that we will send you from your email, and you can just open it in whatever browser you use, like Chrome, Safari, Microsoft Edge, Firefox, whatever you might use to get on the internet. You can just use that to get on Teams. If you're going to get on a phone or a tablet, which already have microphones and webcams baked in, they're good in that way. it probably does mean that you will need the Teams app. So that's a little bit of a difference. If you're going to get on your tablet, like an iPad or any kind of Android tablet, or your phone, your smartphone, then you'll need to download an app to do that, and you can do it ahead of time. It's just Microsoft Teams. It's free. You can do all that. Between now and Wednesday. So Wednesday at 6:00, we're going to try to have prayer meeting. We're going to try to do this in a different way, so we can be more interactive. The reason why we're not just broadcasting it is not only so we can admit people and we can talk about prayer requests, but also so that we can do that whole thing in a more interactive way than our web broadcast through Facebook or YouTube allow us to be. So that's coming up Wednesday. Again, you'll see an announcement about that, an email tomorrow. Of course, that brings to my mind, if you do not get emails from us for our prayer chain or our announcement, that means we don't have you signed up on Realm, and it's easy to do. You don't have to do anything by yourself. Call the office or call Ben or myself, and we will help you. I would say call any of our staff, but that includes Brother Frank. And if you call him about getting set up on Realm, it'd just be better if you would call, Ben or Vonda or myself. Appreciate that. Number 3 then is our weekend schedule. So we're going to resume in-person meetings with our scheduled time of prayer and fasting Saturday at 8 a.m. That's scheduled to last about an hour, and we would love for you to be a part of that. Prayer and fasting, the idea is that we're all agreeing to forego breakfast that morning and come together for prayer. It's a little different prayer meeting, not like our Wednesday night prayer meeting. This is a little different function, a little different purpose, and obviously had this added aspect of us fasting. As you heard Ben say in our broadcast and our worship service and our announcements, if you cannot fast, and we understand that there are people who medically, they just should not forego a meal. And so if that's you, we encourage you to find some other way to fast. Fasting just means to go without. Typically, it means to go without food. But if you can find something meaningful that you can say, hey, I will give that up for X amount of time, particularly Saturday morning, we would invite you to do that and join us. A couple of notes about that. You might think, well, gosh, both of the adults in our house would like to go, but that means our kids are going to come. Your kids will not be a distraction. Oh, Brother LP, you don't know. My kids are, I can't imagine us praying. Well, first of all, we're going to have a little worship together, just a short time of worship, but your kids are not a problem. Certainly bring something for them to do in an activity, but I can't imagine a better thing than them asking, well, what are we doing? Why is everybody praying? And you get to explain that to them. And so we want you to know your family is welcome at this, as with all of our events. Your family is welcome. And as we teach our children together, we promise that won't be a distraction that we don't tolerate. We're glad for that to happen. And so if you want to come together, you should by all means do that. Saturday morning, I believe that's the 7th of November. And that will be at 8:00 in the morning. And then Sunday, we are planning to have all of our normal services again. I know not everybody is released from quarantine just yet. For the folks who have suffered from the coronavirus and those around them, but it has given enough time now for us to kind of identify who all is going to develop symptoms from those exposures. And so we're back at it this Sunday, 8:00, 9:30, 11:00, and then our 6 p.m. service. Hope you will join us this weekend in person. Of course, we'll continue to live broadcast. And so if you want to join us that way, well, you're welcome to, but we would love to see you at Union Hill. That's our 3 topics. Of course, tomorrow is our election day. And so if you have not already voted, we encourage you to get out tomorrow and be good citizens and register your vote for our various elections. Of course, lots of focus on our presidential election, but all of our elections have value and they matter to the way that we live, and we ought to participate. As Christians, we ought to participate in our society. So I encourage you, go vote And we'll see you again very soon at Union Hill.